Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Sports Talk with Austin, your daily dose of sports and entertainment. And in today's video, I will be giving you my reactions to the final 2023-2024 CFP college football rankings that came out earlier today, giving you my reactions, telling you what I think about the top four teams and the matchups that we're going to see, and talk about, where there's some teams snubbed out. We're going to get into that all today and give you my thoughts on what I think of these upcoming games, preview some of the New Year's Six Bowls, and all that. So let's get right into it, shall we? And let's talk about it. So, there was a bit of controversy coming into this weekend, because conference championship week, what if all this chaos happens? You know, this chaos happens. What are we going to do? A lot of it hinged on, everyone like the Michigans, the Georgias, the Washingtons taking care of business, and then that would eliminate a lot of the committee's problems. But it turned out we didn't get that. Alabama, Washington, Michigan, and Texas all won. There was no upsets really. I don't even consider Bama an upset, but the committee had a lot to think about. And here's who they went with. You know, here's and the committee had a lot to think about for sure, because it was a very thought out process. And Florida State winning the ACC over my Louisville Cardinals. But without Jordan Travis, how would that affect the committee's decision making? Would it be an Ohio State all over again? Georgia trying to stake their claim that they were one of the four best teams. They were back to back national champions, and that should count for something. So this was all very interesting, but here's what the committee came out with as the top four. Number one was Michigan, number two was Washington, number three was Texas, and number four was Alabama. And then the next two out were number five, Florida State, and number six, Georgia. So that means we will get Michigan versus Alabama in the Rose Bowl, and we will get Washington versus Texas in the All State Sugar Bowl on New Year's Day, which should be fun. But we have to address the elephant in the room of the controversy that a undefeated Power 5, number 5 Florida State was left out as ACC champs. And now a lot of this has to do with, of course, Jordan Travis not being there, the fact that he broke his leg. Prayers up for Jordan Travis. Hopefully he gets healthy and continues to play football at a high level in the pros. But Florida State, got left out, and that was the big controversy of the day. And I agree with everyone saying that that's not right. And it's not fair to Florida State and Mike Norvell. What they've done all year, they've done what you've asked. They've won out. Yes, it hasn't been convincing. Florida, Tate Rodemaker came in, didn't look as good as he maybe should have. They survived with a 24-15 win, and then this past weekend they won 16-6 over my Louisville Cardinals. The defense really stepped up in a big way with backup Brock Lynn, and now Florida State thought, since they were ACC champs, that the committee would do the right thing like they did with everyone before them with TCU and Cincinnati. But TCU was not unbeaten, but TCU did have one loss. They deserved to be there because Bama was two losses. And, this great. Florida State's been the biggest controversy of them all, but I agree with, a lot of people's takes on, Florida State, I think kind of did get screwed in a way. I mean, because you look at the top four, right? Michigan, Washington, Texas, Alabama. And the status quo is is it the four most deserving or the four best? If you're talking about the four most deserving, Florida State has to be there. And it sucks that they got punished for the Jordan Travis injury. I will repeat that one more time. Jordan Travis got injured in the North Alabama game. Florida State had 2 games without him, and the defense side of the ball looked phenomenal, but the offense looked very shaky. I will give credit where credit's due. To Michigan, Washington, and Alabama and Texas. They all did their thing, no doubt about it. But Texas and Alabama have one thing in common. With have one, Florida State has one thing Texas, Alabama doesn't. That's they're unbeaten. So by law, and this has never happened before in the 10-year history of the college football playoffs either, of a Power Five undefeated conference champion being left out either. It sucks for Florida State, and look at what Florida State has done with over the years of their body of work. This past year, they beat LSU opening night. They beat a top 15 Clemson team at the time, who finished in the top 25 in the CFP rankings. They beat a top 15 in my Louisville Cardinals. Their body of work, plus their conference championship, and the fact they're unbeaten, Florida State should really be in this. And I get it, Texas, Alabama, it's hard to leave them out because both of them have been playing great football, and they've been arguably two of the best teams, and they've been on a collision course to get here. But the thing is, I have no problems with Michigan, Washington. That's fine. You can argue maybe Washington could have the one spot. That's fine with me. Michigan, Washington, they're cool. Texas, Alabama, I have kind of an issue with. I get that both teams won conference championships. Alabama's maybe a little more impressive because they beat the number one team and arguably the best team in all of college football at the time, the Georgia Bulldogs, who were coming off back-to-back natties. And you can make an argument Bama should be over Texas, but then there would be a lot of Texas fans complaining that why schedule hard games if it's not going to count for anything. I understand that argument as well. The committee had a very rough day in figuring all this out. At the end of the day, I think the four should have been my personal four. It should have been Michigan, Washington, Florida State, Texas, or Texas, Alabama. Texas, Alabama, whichever one you prefer. Me personally, I would have put Alabama in. Some people would have put Texas, but Florida State should have been in, regardless of what happened in the other games. But the committee took both Texas and Bama, and I understand the decision. They want the four best teams, but it hasn't always been like that either. Because last year it was the four most deserving. Then there's other years where their criteria shifts a lot, and I get that shifts, but you got to stay consistent when you do this. I like for me, I've said all along, head to head should matter, but it's also about how you played since that head to head. Two, talking about the Texas Alabama argument, because these two teams should be fighting for the four spot, not Florida State looking in at it, looking in at them. For me personally, like I said, I would put Alabama in over Texas at my four spot because Alabama has played the best. They have the best win in all of college football. But the committee took both of them, which is very injustice to Florida State, who is number 5, and Georgia at number 6. Many people thought they should have a case over Texas and Bama, which I disagree with as well. It's just very sad to see that Florida State got left out for Texas and Alabama. It should have been Texas, Bama. The committee decide from there. But instead, we got Texas and Bama because they didn't want to leave both of them out. And I get it. You got to take head to head and credit, and you also got to take about how the teams have played since then. And the Jordan Travis injury last time on that is devastating. But Florida State earned and deserved to be here, and Florida State got robbed. But here we are. We got the 4 teams. It'll be Alabama, Michigan in the Rose Bowl should be fun, and Washington, Texas in the Sugar Bowl, All-State Sugar Bowl should be really fun. I'm looking forward to it, but it just sucks that it came down to this. I'm happy for all 4 fan bases that got in. Don't get me wrong. I don't got nothing against Texas, Alabama. Me personally, it would go Michigan, Washington, Florida State, Alabama would be my 4 solid, no doubt about it. But these are the 4 we got. It just sucks Florida State got punished the way that they did. and it goes back on everything the committee said. And maybe hopefully next year, now that we're going to get the 12-team playoffs, we won't have to worry about this. But for sure, this is definitely either way the committee would have went, whether they would have put Florida State in, then you would have had the Texas Alabama argument, and then one of those fan bases would have been complaining, especially Texas fan. They would have said, "Well, what about the head to head? Why are you not giving us the benefit of the doubt? Why even schedule hard games? Why don't we just play cupcakes like some teams do? If that's how it should be played." I don't think that should be the case at all, but you have to take in factor of what you've done since then and some of the better wins since then. Yes, the Texas win should hold a lot of weight, but you should look at how Alabama and Texas have both played since then. Bama's been the better football team, and they've got the best wins since then. But this is the top four. Looking forward to it. It just sucks for Florida State that they got left out. Georgia at number 6 with one loss, giving the back-to-back national champions and arguably the best team in college football the benefit of the doubt. And it'll be Florida State, Georgia, and the Orange Bowl. Should be very interesting there. Ole Miss, Penn State will be in the Peach Bowl. That should be really good, a good game. Missouri, Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. Liberty, Oregon in the Fiesta. Some notable big games there, but this is very interesting. And I'd like to point out a couple more things on this. Jordan Travis put out on his Instagram and Twitter about how he he felt really bad that he let the team down and that he wished he would have broken his leg earlier and showed that the quarterback position is not everything, that the Florida State team is really talented. And that's very heartbreaking that he put that out there like that, because that's very sad. You don't wish anything on anybody like that. And it sucks Jordan Travis has to go through all this. But I hope Florida State comes out motivated against Georgia and proves to committee why they're one of the four best and one of the four deservings. But there's nothing much else we could do here. It's just really hard to take in if you're a Florida State fan, to know that you got robbed of this because the committee believes these are the four best. But it's not always been that. It's been the four deserving. Deserving, in my opinion, is what they've gone off. But the committee differs from year to year, which is not right. But we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to these playoff matchups and looking forward to everything that's going to happen. Cannot wait for the New Year Sixes. Cannot wait for the top four. Should still be really fun games. I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong. It's sad for Florida State, but I think we got four really good teams. Looking forward to it. But that was my 2023-2024 CFP final ranking reactions. Let me know what you all think what you think of the whole entire Florida State situation. Do you think Georgia could have snuck in? Do you think it should be four most deserving? Do you think it should be the four best? You guys let me know down in the comment section. While you're at it, please leave a like and subscribe. Click on the notification bells because we're doing great work over here, and we're going to keep it going as long as y'all keep liking, subbing, and let me know. But let me know what you think on this entire situation, and do you think Florida State should have gotten in, regardless of whether or not Jordan Travis was there or not. But until then, this has been Sports Talk with Austin. I'm out. Peace. Go Cards.